I'm so done. Hi, I'm 22 and currently going to university in Germany, which is going quite well so far. Previously, I did other stuff. In 2021/2022, I lived in Potsdam and hung out in Berlin, which actually was a great time. In 2022, I started an apprenticeship that didn't go anywhere. In 2023, I started university, but I also have done a lot of project work on the side. 2022, I was in Sicily twice for an EU project, which was fun. In 2023, I was in Georgia, which were the best days of my life. In Berlin twice, and this year, I have been to Berlin and Riga. But I'm absolutely miserable. Like, miserable to the point I've been wanting to take an overdose in my university's Horselsentrum since January. Not to die, but to end up in a hospital bed, get medical attention, be cared for. Think of the chapter Our Lady of the Waiting Room and Speak. I tried it in March, but it didn't work, didn't fall unconscious, and I only haven't attempted it in the summer semester because of something I'm going to explain later. If it weren't for my sister, I'd be completely lonely. Nobody cares about me. Despite all of my efforts and projects, University Introductory Week and Erstefahrt, University Life, etc., no long-lasting, meaningful connections. I don't have a social circle or friends. It just seems impossible. The people I do actually hang out more often, all of whom I met in Introductory Week and Erstefahrt, are just so disconnected and disinterested. They never write me. I always write them, or at least wrote. They couldn't care less, and I never get invited. People always say join clubs, but it just feels disingenuous to join clubs in desperation to socialize. Additionally, I have a feeling these clubs are super insular. Back in May, I took part in this event called Inuin Festival. Normally, from Berlin to Tbilisi, my experience is that asking to sit at someone's table is enough to start a conversation. Here, you can even ask further, but they basically ignore you. Everyone seemingly knew each other, and were what felt like active disinterested to meet new people. And this kind of felt like a microcosm. It seems like everyone has it figured out and can effortlessly stumble their way into meaningful relationships, just not me. What especially makes me unhappy is that I have even less luck in love. I've never had a girlfriend, and I feel dreadfully ashamed of myself for that. I feel worthless because of it. No girl has ever been interested in me. I feel invisible. I fear I'll never find anyone. I think it's super embarrassing. And again, it seems like most people effortlessly stumble their way into relationships. I know guys who broke up and found another girlfriend within weeks. I often hear advice like, it will happen eventually, and it's so frustrating, because it just doesn't happen, and because the fact that it hasn't happened to me yet at 22 but for others way earlier means to me, there's something wrong with me. Oh, and that advice, or stop looking, always comes from aforementioned people who have been in relationships continuously since forever, for whom this is all natural. Now, I am very much bisexual and on my gay side. I've actually never felt even slightly ashamed of my inexperience. I overall feel shockingly self-confident and comfortable, but that doesn't make my problem overall go away. And despite what the right tells you, there aren't a lot of gays running about. I don't think I'm socially incompetent. Obviously, I'm nervous when meeting lots of new people, but that's just part of the human experience. All of the aforementioned events except that dumpster fire Inuin Festival went really well, always much better than I expect, and I generally enjoy becoming acquainted with new people. I listen. I'm genuinely interested. I avoid being a Debbie Downer. I actually have an easier time connecting with girls because I am constantly meeting women who are engaged, eager, and interested in a conversation, whereas guys my age, bearing one or two exceptions, are also extremely disinterested and disconnected that they're seemingly unable to hold a conversations longer than 3 proper German sentences. Back in March, I developed a crush on a fellow student. I first met her at the Erstefahrt, where we got along very well. We talked a lot, and she even seemed flirty. When university started in April, we saw each other again for the first time in about 2 months, and she seemed happy, and it went well the next weeks. My biggest wish wasn't, I want to lie in a hospital bed, but I really want to hug Paula. I felt optimistic, it felt exciting. I asked her out on a date in early May, and it went very well. She said she wanted to do it more often. But from there, it went downwards. She never wrote me by herself, She didn't really show any interest, and in June, I stopped pursuing her because even for a friend, she was way too disinterested and passive. In late June, I was ghosted on WhatsApp by this cute 20 years old music pedagogy student guy I met on Tinder, and in July in Riga, the 20 years old German-Vietnamese girl I met at a previous seminar in Berlin in February, got along very well, went on a walk through Berlin for like over 2 hours, was so disinterested, just straight up indifferent, that I couldn't even attempt making a closer connection. I'm just sick of all of this. Of the disconnectedness, disinterestedness, and loneliness. And I really see no way out. I was abused by my mother as a child and bullied in school. Does that have something to do with it? But I felt that I've been past that since graduating and moving out. Why do I still have to pay the price of that? What should I do?